September.Evan Almighty, full circle. It's the third time the Lord's brought me back to this. I think it was September 22nd, 2018. It was probably around September before the 22nd, 2019. I don't think I went there 2020. And here I am, 2021.
Well, I hope this isn't our last supper.
Until September 22nd, midday. And if the ark isn't finished by then, you will be.
Is that when it's going to happen? September 22nd, midday? That would be a good day to have chicken. How about Mom's chicken? Huh? Mom, can we do some more chicken September 22nd, midday?
Right. It's only the second time I've watched it. I've written a few things. I don't know if they're worth... You know how you... I'll tell you one thing about the movie that I noticed. When I first watched it, I didn't realise how accurate it is in terms of how you hear God. E.g., timestamps. So the big thing is Genesis 16. So he sees Genesis 16 and signs everywhere. He sees it. He sets his clock for 7 in the morning. It goes at, 7:16. It goes at 6:14, right? His license plate is GEN 614. And also, I can give you more examples, but I'd like you to watch the movie. The other thing is his house number is not 614, he said. His house number is 416. Can you see how it's switched? It's like this thing that I've got. I can't get my numbers right, can I? Anyone who watches me knows. Maybe it was the vaccine I got for hepatitis B. Because I didn't have a problem really at school. I must have slipped through the cracks. Anyway. It's all about numbers. The signs. So on the thumbnail, he's got the birds following him, you know. First there's the doves, then there's the cats, then there's the dogs, and then there's 2 eagles. And when he's in the car, he has 2 sheep in the back of the car. Now, Noah has 3 sons. I just want to point out that these murders that have happened in the last 10 or 11 days in New Zealand, possible second murder was... See, it's mum, dad and 3 sons. That's Noah and his family. Doesn't mention their wives. But My 3 Sons is an old TV series that the Lord reminded me of, believe it or not. I put it up before, My 3 Sons. But there's been 2 instances where there's been 3 daughters, a mother and 3 daughters, and a father and 3 daughters that have gone missing. The second, and the first are dead, killed by the mother. It does have a sign that says 40-year-old Virgin Mary. Why that's there, I don't know. I don't want to take the power out of this, guys. I don't want to take the power out of it. But they do say, oh, he's a freshman. But you will notice this is how they introduced him. That he is locked and loaded. Like Clint's gun. What else? Oh, yeah. So when I was sharing, because I'm starting to share now as a testimony about this pre-programming about this flood, which I just put up, right? And in one of the things I said, I was recalling about how I just left everything to go up the mountain. And that my testimony, and the only real date that the Lord's really given me, besides the 20th of May, which is the day of Pentecost 2018, is this 22nd of September. I always watch every year, but I said that when I was writing this comment, just the testimony which you've heard, that when I went up the mountain, which is what you keep hearing now, people are saying, get up to the mountains with the tsunami, right? And they're all on the east. Well, I said, oh, I went from the east to the west, if that's significant, with a question mark in this comment. Because that's where I went. Lord said go up the mountain, and I know that I went over to the west coast, up the mountain, from the east to the west. It's a big deal, something to do with the east to the west. That's our God. Well, I just saw a comment that said that you don't want to be on the east or west of the coast of America, and amongst all the go up to the mountain bits. But does that make my testimony make a lot more sense? That was what the Lord said to me when he woke me up. The time is now. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, I'm hearing go up to the mountain. And I literally did leave everything and go from east to west. Well, in this movie, God, the so-called God, takes him to a view over the mountains, a little bit like Jesus, how the devil took him to overlook over the mountains, to look over the world, because he was going to promise him the world, right? I can give you all this, because it belonged to Satan. Well, that's where God is standing with Evan when he's Noah, trying to tell him something. And he shows him this beautiful vista, this view. And he says, I thought you would like, he said, notice how the mountains line up from east to west. I thought there would be lots of sunshine. Like, he created it and he placed it and made it that way. There's that clip. So I just wrote east to west. It rings a bell. East to west. Notice how the mountains line up east to west. I thought there would just be lots of sunshine that way. So I don't really think I've got anything else to say, other than tomorrow's the 22nd in New Zealand. Today's the 21st. And it was a full moon last night. Watch the movie. Don't forget east to west. It's always significant. And have a look at the thumbnail, because when all the birds follow him, and he puts 2 thumbs up to say, it's okay, 2 thumbs up. I don't know what that means, that sign, 2 thumbs up. It's giz a go in New Zealand. That's called giz a go. The Lord showed me it. We used to have this kids program. It was a man, he wore a school uniform. He wouldn't get away with it now. And he'd sort of it was like an after school kids program. I used to watch it. His name was Stu. And the Lord's already taken me to Stu. I don't know why. But he's the one who, this is a Kiwi thing. Giz a go, mate. Giz a go. And that is it. Thumbs up is giz a go. That's what I know in my culture, and that's what the Lord's shown me before. Well, he's standing there at his desk with all these birds around him. I noticed first that there were two quite light yellow canaries. Like there's light yellow canaries on his left arm. And then, as this man is opposite to him, he holds both thumbs up, doesn't say anything. And as he's doing that, 2 dark yellow, the same as those lemons, canaries land on each thumb. Now, I noticed those 2 canaries were already in the room. There was sort of a coffee table over there. They were sitting there, and then they have a shot facing this way where he goes giz a go with both hands, and those 2 canaries obviously fly. One lands on each thumb. So he's got the 2 canaries on his thumb, Canary Islands, possibly. Just saying. 22nd of September. Just saying.